Welcome to the I Don't Know podcast, also known as the Casting Couch. We're in a new place.
Yeah.
Finally. Well,
Finally moved out of my homeless shelter.
yeah. That's good. Moved in with Lucas. How long ago was it? When did you guys officially?
Signed the place.
Yeah.
Like, would be Monday this week.
We're recording this on Saturday. Yeah. Very new, very fresh. We've already christened the place. Had a little party. Don't remember what happened at said
Simon,
party.
you want to speak about your adventures?
I'm not speaking out said adventures. Nah. People are watching this, I'm not going to talk about that. But yeah, it was fun. It was a good party. Had lots of people over. Had some drink. And that was that. Nothing else to say. But yeah. What have you been up to, Ben?
Not much, just working, getting this place set up. Getting this place set up. I still don't have like a bed or anything in my room.
Yeah.
Everything's coming like tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Including the TV or?
Our TV comes on Monday.
Oh, sick. That's going to be sick. Mad. What was it? 65 inches?
Yeah.
65 inch curved
4K.
4K TV. Oh. Like currently right now, all there is this couch. That's all there is. That in terms of furniture, that's all there is. Like this tripod is actually on a box. And this box is like for bin. Big box.
So we need to create a porno.
Yeah. Well, fun times. Got a lot of interesting topics to talk about. Gonna talk about scams. Scams. Have you ever been scammed, Ben? You don't want to talk about it? It's alright.
Is it the same story?
Maybe it is, but the listeners haven't heard it.
Yeah, okay, tell your story.
Huh?
Tell your story.
Well,
I just hate hearing shit again.
Huh?
I just hate hearing the same thing like again, but yeah, I'm not telling. There you go.
It's alright. Well, my friend invited me. I'll make it quick because it's not that great of a story, but it's an alright story. My friend invited me to come to this life-changing seminar that will change the way I perceive life and put my thoughts and everything in. You know, it was one of those things like Simon, do you
It'll
trust?
change the way you perceive life.
Change my actions, my pathway in life to become more successful. All those, you know.
It's just a
all
few
those-
dollars off a flight ticket, isn't it?
Well,
Oh my god. All of these pathways have opened up and now I could save $10.
exactly. So it was one of those kind of like wordy, lots of words that mean nothing. He's like, Simon, do you trust me? I'm like, yeah, okay, I trust you. Okay, let's go. So I trekked it. It was like the Uber cost me like $40 to get there and $40 back. So already I'm $80 out of debt. I go in there and I've been offered a few of these little kind of once in a lifetime opportunity business ideas, yada yada yada. And I'm sitting there listening to it all. Anyway, long story short, it was a fucking pyramid scheme. I was pranked to get into a pyramid scheme. Because the last words they said at the end of the fucking seminar was, and for those who think this is a pyramid scheme, it's not. It's not a pyramid scheme. Those are the last words they said in it. But basically, the way I realized it was a pyramid scheme was, they're like, so you're probably here because of your friend. I'm like, yep, that's right. Marshall brought me here, blah blah. And they're like, so you have to pay a $50 membership per month to be part of this. You also have to pay an additional $200 startup fee. But if you refer 4 people, then you don't have to pay the membership. And I'm just thinking, like, okay, so let me get this straight. My friend referred me, and I have to refer 4 others. Those 4 people have to refer 4 more others, hence creating a triangle. Yeah. So that was that. I tried to tell my friend about it, but he's adamant on believing it's
Is he
not.
still in it?
Yeah.
Is he still trying to recruit people?
Yeah. He hasn't recruited anyone yet, so he's still paying the membership fee of $50 a month. And the $200 additional that he had to pay. I think we did the maths, and he has to pay $1,000 a month. No, $1,000 a year. And he's like, look, if I don't succeed in the next 3 years, then I'm and I'm like, okay, so you're willing to put a $3,000 investment into it? He's like, yeah.
What does he get?
Cheaper tickets,
cheaper
cheaper holiday stuff, all that kind of stuff. Like, this one particular pyramid scheme was like a holiday. It's called World Ventures. That's what it's called. And we literally Googled World Ventures, and they're getting sued in America for being a scam. And they just started in Australia. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So they're being sued in America, and not only that, but we found some statistics about 80% of the people who are in it make no money at all. And within the 20%, only 0.09% of people made more than $50,000.
You know what that sounds like?
What?
Macca's. What, any other job, any other retail job?
No, but...
No, I'm kidding, but
like, at least we make money. Like, yeah, not a lot of money, but 80% of people make no money at all. Zero. 0.09. That's not even. That's not even 1% of people.
But how are you making money? Like, aren't you just getting cheaper tickets?
Yeah, well, there's also the business side of it as well, where it's like you can recruit people and you can get money out of that, and when they recruit people, then you make more money, and the more people that your people below you, the more people that are below you, the more money you make. Sounds a bit pyramid scheme-ish, if you ask me.
I don't understand how you're making money though.
Because I think you get a cut of or something. I'm not sure. I can't remember the exact details. But yeah, that was fun. If you're listening to this, friend, I hope you succeed in your world ventures, if you will.
Oh, you know what we should do? We should eat a ghost chili one time. Just for the podcast.
Just eat a ghost. I actually really want to try some like intense spicy shit. Like do you watch the what's it called?
Hot Ones.
Hot Ones, yeah. Yeah, like I actually really want to try out that like range, and I want to see if I can make it to the end.
The last dab.
Yeah, like the last dab. Cause like, I don't know, maybe I'm a bit cocky, but like I do feel like I have a more what's the opposite of sensitive?
High tolerance.
High tolerance, yeah, like I have got a high tolerance to like chili stuff. Like even though I am dying, I can still cop it. Like I won't be like, oh no, I can't do it. Like I'll still do it. But I really want to, yeah. Is a ghost chili the hottest one, or is it hotter
ones? It's not
ones?
the hottest one, but it's like fucking up there. It's like one of the hottest ones. They have like this crystal chili shit, which is like 10 million Scoville or some shit.
Jesus.
Yeah.
The hottest one that they have on the first, like on the Hot Ones show, is 2 million Scoville. Like the sauce, and that's their sauce that they have, which is like 2 million Scoville.
Have you seen that YouTube video of the interviewer who like has like, I'm not sure it's a ghost chili, but it's like one of those chilies, and then he's like starts hallucinating and freaking out.
Maybe I might have. No, I don't think I remember, but like, yeah. You know, Sean Evans, the host of First We Feast, like he went on the Colbert show. What the fuck was that?
The Coke bottle.
Oh Jesus. Okay. Yeah, so Sean Evans went on the Colbert late night show or whatever, Stephen Colbert late night or whatever, and they did a small version of Hot Ones on his show, and it was like the simplest one, like which is like Tabasco or whatever, or Sriracha, and then they went up to like the medium one, and then went to like the hottest one ever. And like Stephen Colbert like had no idea that was gonna happen. So like his like mouth is burning on fire. He's like, "We'll be right back." No. Meanwhile, Sean Evans is like laughing his ass off because like he does this like all the fuck. I don't know. I honestly have no idea how he does it all the time. Like, you reckon? Like it is possible.
You get used to it after a while.
Yeah.
I used to eat the red bird eyes chilies like.
Oh yeah.
Like I just eat one whole. Just like
Well, but the bird eye ones are not too bad.
Yeah, I know, but like they're like still like.
Yeah, they're still.
They're not as much as like the millions, but like.
Yeah, they're still up there.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
And after like eating them for a while, like you get used to it.
Yeah.
You still like burn, but it's like.
Yeah.
Not as intense.
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know if there's something weird with me, but like, I kind of enjoy that sensation of like everything burning. Like. That kind of.
You know what you should do next time? You should stick your hand in a packet full of hot Cheetos and just rub it on your dick.
Oh
and
no,
you can enjoy the sensation of burning.
No, bro. I've
just put it in your eyes. Just snort it, bro.
Dude, I can't remember. I think I might have been eating some spicy chicken wings or something.
I showed you the video of like the guy who like snorts the chili, the ghost chili powder and puts it in his eyes.
Oh yeah,
it's so
that was so fucked up. That was fucked. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. What I was gonna say is like, when you are eating chili, you don't want to touch anything sensitive, like your eyes. You don't want to like rub your ears. Especially don't touch like
a baby.
Huh?
A baby.
A baby. Yeah. Exactly. But in my case, I was eating chicken wings, and I think I had like a little bit of like residue of chili on my fingers that I didn't wipe off or something. Anyway, you know, my balls were itchy, so I decided to itch them. You know, just go down there and itch it. My whole junk was just burning. It was so hot. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. You just have to wait for the pain to go away. Have you ever had that or no?
Maybe once, but it was after fucking hookah.
Oh boy. Actually, what are we... Okay, we're 6 minutes. Okay. 6 minutes left till I have to hit record again. Yeah. But with that being said, I reckon we should do it. If you guys want to see us suffer, let us know, and we'll do it. I reckon it'll be fun. I wanted to do it anyways. Do they deliver the spicy sauce?
Yeah, I think you have to get the ghost chili. I want to like eat the actual ghost chili, not the sauce.
But do they even sell it in Australia?
Yeah, I know. You have to get them delivered. I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure there's some sort of legality behind it all. I'm just thinking about what else we talked about on the other podcast. But a topic that I am actually interested in is sociopaths.
Oh.
Are you a sociopath, Ben?
Yeah, I'm full sociopath. I don't care about anyone. I have no empathy.
Nice. I knew it. I knew it all along. Reason why I brought up the topic, and I know
you're a sociopath, and you want to find like-minded people.
Exactly. Nah, I think a sociopath wouldn't want to find like-minded people. That's what I think a sociopath would be.
Because I want to be the top dog.
Yeah, they would want to be the top dog, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I was a sociopath, I would want to be top dog.
Yeah. No, the reason why I brought it up was because of, and I know you don't...
Well, I want to be top dog anyway. So, but that's not a sociopath thing. That's just a human thing.
all
That's
about.
just an ego thing, bro. Oh my god. Yeah, that's just ego.
How is this book, anyways? Emotional Intelligence.
It's a pretty hard read. Like, I think I'm only like halfway through. It's pretty interesting though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it about? Like.
It's just about why people do things
Mm.
and the parts of the brains that activate those things.
Interesting. Yeah, I need to get around to it. I'm just reading Greek myths at the moment. The Greek myths retold by Stephen Fry. You know, like that what's it called, that ad that you sometimes hear in the beginning of a YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty good book. I'm like also halfway through. The only issue I have with it, I mean, it's fair enough as well. There's so many fucking names and characters and like gods and stuff that you kind of have to remember. And like you think like, okay, I don't have to remember this guy's name, blah blah. But like 50 pages later, it's like, oh, and this guy comes back and does this, and then like the 20 other people that we introduced on page 12 are now back on page 200 doing this stuff. It's like, fuck. There's so much going on. There's so many gods. So many. Like thousands upon thousands. And like there's titans and there's gods and there's demigods and there's like all different...
Titans.
Titans are actually the OG gods. They're like... They're actually more OP than gods. Like, they're sort of like divine...
Not Hercules.
Hercules? No, Hercules is like I forgot what the word would be. But he's not even a god. He's like half god.
Demigod.
He's a demigod, yeah. Because his mum's some regular chick and Zeus is his dad. Because Zeus was a fucking player and just fucked everything. But yeah. No, it's really interesting. Like, Titans are basically like... Everything before Zeus's family, like Zeus's brothers and sisters, were Titans. And there's this like huge war, and you may have heard of this name before, Clash of the Titans. You like
Yeah, I've heard of the movie.
Yeah, but like that name has been...
But I've heard of like the idiom as well.
Yeah. That's happened because of Zeus, basically. I think I might have told you this story already, but the idea is that sort of like the Big Bang or so, like before there was nothing, there was just chaos. And chaos occurred and created a few divine entities like Gaia, who's like Mother Earth, nature, stuff like that. We still use her name in everyday words today, except it's broken down to GE. So like geography, geology, geometry, like all of that is because of Gaia. Then there was other titans like Uranus or Uranus, or however you want to pronounce it, and a few others. I can't remember the names of them. But yeah, Athena's way down the line.
Oh, I was just saying that. It sounds like a Greek god.
Oh yeah, no, she is a Greek god. She's one of Zeus's kids. But yeah, anyway, they Uranus and Gaia had a bunch of kids. And then they had a couple of Rican kids on the side, and Uranus was like, ew, these are Rican, we're gonna kill them. Gaia got pissed off about it, wanted to find her other siblings who could kill him. Kronos, who's his dad.
That's such a sick name.
Kronos.
I fucking love that name.
Yeah.
I'm gonna name my kid Kronos. Do you reckon you get bullied in school if your name was Kronos?
Probably. Well, in our day and age, yeah, I reckon.
Right, as if like every kid would be like, I want that fucking name. That's such a cool name.
It's not a, what's it called? Conventional, normal name to have nowadays.
Well, when did our names that we have now become conventional, normal names? Someone had to break the trend.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
You know Jesus Christ wasn't even called Jesus Christ?
Yeah, I know he was called like
Josh or some shit.
No, it wasn't Josh. It was
It's like Yeshua.
Yeah, it was Jesus. No, that's another name for Jesus Christ. Yeah, it was Yeshua.
It's like Yeshua.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah. Something like
That's
that.
a sick name as well. Like, all the names you have now are so fucking boring.
Bob,
Ben.
Tom, Ben, Simon. Like, yeah. They are pretty normie names, but... Yeah, no. What I was saying. Oh, yeah. So...
Bob.
Imagine if the Greek gods were called like Bob and
Yeah.
Simon and Tom and stuff like...
Hey, Bob.
So Bob threw thunderbolts at Tom. And Tom decided to betray his father. But like, if you think about it, like the Bible stories, they're all pretty normie names.
Oh, they haven't read the Bible.
Well, like, you think of like some Christian type names. You got like Joshua, you got Noah, you've got
Noah's not that normal.
oh, true. That's but like
Even Joshua, like, no one's called Joshua now. Everyone just says Josh.
yeah, but their on their birth certificate it'd be like Joshua.
Yeah, and I'll be like, in the future, be like, Joe. Like, Joe.
Like Joe. Well, I mean, technically.
It'll just be like the syllables, but.
Well, is your name on the? Is your
Oh,
name?
yeah, my name's,
is your name
yeah,
Benjamin?
my name's like pretty
Benjamin.
rare. No, my name's Shuja.
Oh yeah, no, I know that. Yeah.
Shuja.
That, yeah, Shuja. That's a cool name. But is your name like, well, your middle name or whatever? Like, is it Benjamin or is it Ben?
It's just Ben.
Just Ben. I think Benjamin's cool, but Ben is pretty sus, but normal. But mine is also pretty normal as well. Simon. I mean, they fucking named the game out of my name. Simon Says and blah blah blah. But yeah.
Simon Says it's no me.
Heard it here first. But yeah. I don't know. Finding the book pretty fascinating. Yeah. Cool shit going on. I'm up to the part right now where Pandora opens up the box. Which is, fun fact, it's not even a box, it's actually a jar. The reason why everyone thinks it's a box is because the historian who read it, the artifacts or whatever, misread the word. I can't remember what the word was, but like, he read box instead of jar and he called it Pandora's box. But to be honest, it has a better ring to it as well. Pandora.
Can you even trust that historian if you got it mixed up with a box, a jar in a box?
I don't know, it's a good question.
Maybe he opened Pandora's box.
Oh.
This little trick. What's Pandora's box's story?
Huh?
What's the Pandora box story? Should open like a world of demons or some shit.
Yeah, so actually she was like one of the first. I'm pretty sure she was the first woman. Because originally, so a little backtrack, Zeus got pretty bored because everything was AIDS, everything was fine, no, nothing to worry about, everything's boring and simple. And he's like, well, this person has this pet, like a fucking flying horse. This person has this pet, which is like talking dolphin. This person has a turtle. I want a pet of my own. So he went to Prometheus, which that name is a name that people have heard of before. But I can't remember what he was the god of. But he went to Prometheus. Prometheus was like a really kind of crafty person. He would craft like cool shit. And he's like, I want to create like basically like what we know today as mankind. And then he's like, yeah, no worries, let's do it. So he creates, actually Prometheus is actually a titan, whereas Zeus is a god. So Zeus actually had a lot of beef with a bunch of titans after the war between the titans, but he was really close with Prometheus, and he's like, yeah, can you create me man? And he's like, what about woman or whatever? And he's like, no, we're not going to create woman because my wife, she's getting pretty jealous over the fact that I keep fucking everyone, so she doesn't want me fucking more people.
She doesn't want me fucking my own creation.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's like incest, bro.
Oh no, the whole beginning of Greek mythology is all incest. Well, I mean, if you think about
it would have to be.
There was no other.
Yeah.
There was nothing else.
Yeah.
But then as time goes on, it becomes less incestual.
Because everyone was having retard babies.
Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, so he creates. Actually, interesting enough, he created 7 different type of human, including like the, I think he wrote dark tan, dark, like pink, yellow, white.
Do they all have like different abilities, like
Nah,
run fast,
they were just different.
good at maths?
Like, and he also created like blue and green and stuff like that, and red, and shit like that. But they got destroyed by Zeus when he found out that they were ready, and he like got so excited that he ran to them and stumbled over them. Anyway, so they created mankind. Everything's fine. Everything's going good. Zeus was like, you only have 2 things that you're not allowed to do as mankind. You're not allowed to create fire, and you're not allowed to like disobey me, basically. Anyway, so he's like, yeah, eats, no worries. And then as time goes on, Prometheus was like, ooh, this is like mankind is getting pretty boring. Like they need to develop quicker. They're just becoming like just kind of like ape, like. So he showed them how to make fire. And Zeus got super jealous about that. He got super annoyed and like angry about the fact that he got defied. What's the word? Yeah, defied. So he decided to retaliate by creating a woman, which was Pandora. And he created Pandora, and he was like, alright, here's a jar, but you're not allowed to open anything in it. Like, this was his master plan to like fuck up Prometheus's like.
He did that knowing she was gonna open it, right?
Probably.
Yeah, like you don't just say.
Yeah.
Fucking, don't think of a pink elephant.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that was his like plan to begin with, right? Anyway, so for a long time, she didn't open anything, and like Prometheus knew that Zeus was gonna get super mad, but he didn't know how it was gonna happen. When he saw that Pandora came, he was like super excited about it because now there's finally a woman to like match the duality between man and woman, and all that. So created. So she ended up with some guy, like a king of some sorts in some city, and as time went on, she got more and more in like, she buried it in like her backyard and stuff and all this. Anyway, long story short, she opened it up, and within it were like all these what are known as nymphs. And
sexual nymphomaniacs.
I don't really know how to describe a nymph. They're not really gods.
Succubus.
Huh?
Succubus.
I don't know. If you could Google it, it'd be cool. But I don't know exactly the definition of it. But they're not really gods. They're more just kind of like entities of things. So like, there would be a nymph of fear and a nymph of terror and a nymph of, like there was a bunch of evil nymphs, there were a bunch of water nymphs, there were a bunch of, what does it say?
A mythological spirit of nature imagined as a beautiful maiden inhabiting rivers, woods and other locations.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just like more women.
Yeah. So like sort of like if you think of like a mermaid and stuff like that kind of thing. Anyway, so they released about 100 or something, I can't remember how many, but like it was in the hundreds of different types of things. But when she realized what she had done, she closed the jar, leaving one nymph inside the jar. And you know what that one nymph was? Hope.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. Think about that one. And from then on, no longer were there the golden ages. It was just dark terror, misery.
So if you're ever going to disobey an order, disobey it fully. Don't.
That's
Go halfway. That's my interpretation.
that's a good. I mean, that's a good. That's a good way of interpreting, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, that's just the story of Pandora's box, or Pandora's jar, if you will. It's quite an interesting story. I really want to get to the part where they talk about Hercules. Because Hercules I was always fascinated about. And how he had 12 tasks to complete and shit. He had fucking Pegasus. And he fucking flew around and shit. And killed Medusa. All sorts of things. Really fascinating stuff. Well, if you had to pick a mythology, which one would you pick?
I don't really know that many.
Or like what kind of makes you interested, I guess? Or actually, let me rephrase that. So let's scrap mythology. If you, this is like a really kind of normie type of question, but if you could go back in time, what, like, mythological or not,
Where
what
would I
time?
go?
Yeah, that like really interesting time where you'd be like, oh, I want to I want to know what happened in this time. Not necessarily experience it, because like, as someone of your color, you probably have a shit time in history, which is kind of like shit, but like, you know what I mean? Like, but like, what part of history would you want to like see?
The part where everyone was my skin colour.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
No, actually, yeah, like the part where everyone was my skin colour, like when like humankind was brought into existence, I guess.
Mm. So like the very early stages of, I guess, evolution or whatever, or however way. Because skin color is basically just pigmentation. It's people who are closer to the equator tend to be darker than the ones further away from the equator. That's just the way pigmentation, skin color works. But to see, do you reckon everyone was essentially?
The first humans would have been black.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But by that logic, that's only because they were at the equator, or near the equator. Which means, oh yeah, like, don't they all? Isn't there a theory that they all came from Africa? Everyone came from Africa. Yeah. I think I'd fast forward a little bit. I think because I feel like it'd be pretty boring during that time, because it'd just be a bunch of people trying to like figure out how to do things. Like, oh, we got fire now.
No, like I want to see like the like first human pretty much.
Oh.
Like where the first human came from.
They also think there's, I mean, not think, they know there were different species of human as well.
Yeah, there's like the weird, like fucking the shit ones that are extinct.
Yeah. Yeah. There were like taller versions of Homo sapiens, and there were shorter versions of us, and there were like bulkier ones, and all different types. I reckon I'd want to see the first quote unquote advanced civilization. I think before ancient Egypt. I know that's like a really kind of normie answer to give or whatever, like a really kind of generic one, but I'd want to see one. I want to see the advanced civilization before the most recent ice age. Because what's interesting is, we know there was advanced civilization before the ice age, but we have near to no information about it.
That's the Dark Ages.
Huh?
Is that the Dark Ages?
No.
Where is it? Yeah. That's another age where there's like no history, isn't it?
Well, Dark Ages, yeah, that was like, we have a little bit of information.
That would have been like my second choice.
The Dark Ages.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dark Ages is pretty cool. How long? Okay. Yeah, Dark Ages is interesting. I think the Dark Ages started after the Roman Empire fell, and because the Roman Empire owned so much of everything, and it was such a massive, big thing that when it collapsed, just all of Europe, all of Middle East, all of that just went to shit, and hence caused the Dark Ages. But that's like in the early thousands, like around there, like between 0 to 1,000. That's kind of like the Dark Ages. But I'd want to go back to like 10,000 BC, maybe 15,000 BC, see what's going on there. Because for around 4,000 BC is when you have like, well, we know like we have the Egyptian dynasty and we have like pyramids getting built and all that kind of stuff. But the Sphinx, and geologically speaking, like we have artifacts that it goes back to 10,000 BC, meaning that there's actual civilization that dated back further away from us, from the creation of the iPhone to Cleopatra, further like the distance in terms of, like that's closer, we are closer to Cleopatra than Cleopatra was to the Sphinx, which is a little bit mind-blowing. Like that's like a lot of thousands of years.
If you picked a human to be throughout history, who would you be?
Like any person, like famous or not.
Yeah.
I reckon I'd be. I think I've already told you this before, but I think I'd be Da Vinci, Leonardo da Vinci. He's honestly one of my favorite people, most interesting. Like, yeah, it's not like what I was talking about, like in 10,000 BC or whatever, but he's during like the I don't know how to pronounce it, Renaissance, or whatever. Like not only was he like an amazing artist, but he also had like a brain that like he created some of the inventions that we have to this day. I can't name them from the top of my head because I remember reading on him like ages ago when I was a lot younger. But he was like an amazing engineer. He was an amazing philosopher. He was an amazing like writer, and like he just had such a talented creative mind that like, and I'm pretty sure like a lot of his work that he did, like we still haven't found. Like there's this whole entire Da Vinci Code and blah blah blah. Like there's a little mystery behind it as well.
Was there people that were like rejecting his work and shit?
Oh yeah.
I'd be one of those people.
You reckon? That's what you want to be when you go back in time?
Yeah, bro.
Why?
Like Da Vinci, you bitch. You're the devil. Let's stop creating. What did he create? Just stop creating.
I think he created one of the first tanks, actually. He created a lot of military stuff. I think he created the first catapult.
Destroyed civilization. I'd be like a hippie. Like with
hippies were getting killed.
Yeah, that's why. So like stop destroying Earth. They're like protecting.
Imagine the hippie in the Dark Ages, like.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, the hippie was Jesus.
Yeah, look what happened to him.
He was protecting the cross.
Actually, being Jesus would probably be pretty eats.
That's sad.
Oh, yeah, like Jesus is probably the most interesting, significant character, or like person throughout history. Like think about it this way: it's 2018. 2018 years since Jesus died.
You know how they say Mary had a little lamb?
Yeah.
I'd be the little lamb.
Oh my god. That's also another one, yeah. Didn't think about that one, yeah, fuck. I'd be one of the 3 little pigs. Actually, that guy, the brothers, the Grimm brothers, they're the ones who fucking created like every single fairy tale that we know. Which is so...
Matrix.
Yeah, they created the Matrix, bro.
Wait, no, there's like some... Who are the producers of it? I swear it's like brothers something.
Yeah, not Colin, the Wachowski brothers. Or
Okay.
sisters. The sisters now.
What?
Yeah, the sisters.
They're both trans.
Yeah.
Actually, what?
I swear my life.
What the fuck?
They both switch teams. Yeah. Yeah.
That's so weird.
Did you ever watch Sense8 on Netflix?
No.
Sense8? You never watched it? Okay. Oh,
You're making a reference to something.
No. There's an actual Netflix show called Sense8. It's really good. You'd like it. It's sort of like, kind of like, you know, remember that TV show Heroes that we used to watch?
Yeah. No, I've seen like a few episodes, but like...
When they were creating Sense8, they were already sisters at that point. I think they've been sisters for like 5-10 years now.
It's weird.
But it's so weird how both of them decided.
Weird.
Like not, it wasn't like as if one of them was like, yeah, I don't feel comfortable in this body or whatever. It's like both of them were like, yeah, we don't feel comfortable in this. Like, I don't know. I haven't researched them enough. But yeah, no, they're interesting siblings. But yeah. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the Grimm brothers.
It's like that one sibling that's always like copying the other sibling. It's like, oh, he has a pair of tits now. I didn't do that.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna talk like what I was gonna say about the Grimm brothers.
Oh fuck! I'm gonna get so much hate for calling the sisters a he.
Yeah, dude.
Oh fuck.
Not sweet.
It's okay, I have a pair of tits as well.
I've got bigger tits than you, though.
Do you?
Yeah. I'm gonna show on camera, but pretty voluptuous. God damn it, Ben, you keep distracting me. I was on a tangent. The Grimm brothers, yes. And what I was gonna say about the Grimm brothers is they've created like every fairy tale that we know to this day, and most of them that we know to this day is purely because of Disney, Walt Disney. Like Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty. There's a few others, Hansel and Gretel, a bunch of other ones I can't name from the top of my head. But what's the most fascinating thing about it all is, I can't remember the name of, well, you're not allowed to, Walt Disney basically was like, yep, now it's copyright. So now you can't make a Snow White, you can't make a Cinderella, you can't do this, you can't do that.
But it wasn't even his work.
But it wasn't even what made the Disney company to the fucking most what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even find the right words. It's the biggest business that there is today. In terms of entertainment, it's the biggest business, the most number one. What made them so big is from all these fairy tales from the Grimm brothers, from like around the 1500s, around between 1000 and 2000, like in the middle around there, somewhere 1500s, 1600s, maybe earlier even. But there's this whole entire discussion about like what's the word? I should have thought about this before.
Copyright infringement.
Yeah, like copyright infringement type thing, but like the idea of like creative copyright. So like if you come up with an idea, what happens to that idea once you're dead, type thing. Do you have to wait 100 years? you have to wait 200 years? You know, like when Beethoven dies, can we turn Beethoven's symphony into a doof? You know, like that kind of thing, you know? But this, and then like, you know, if you want to make a parody of some action movie that came out like Fast and Furious, can you do that without getting copyright?
So I reckon it's fine as long as like you're not just copy pasting what he did. Like Walt Disney did his like cartoons and shit over it.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure like he changed a bit of the story.
Mm. Yeah, oh, yeah, he definitely did. The Grimm brothers stories, well, I think their name is kind of in it. They like their stories were grim. They were like Little Red Riding Hood was one example, right? In the story of Little Red Riding Hood, the fucking like wolf literally devours them. In Hansel and Gretel, they're full on like it like they're very like intense, like sociopathic, if you will. Like they're very like gruesome and grim and disgusting. But yeah, Walt Disney turned them around and made them kind of happy-go-lucky, and you know, like yeah, there's a bit of tragedy and there's a bit of this, but made it with an undertone of like cartoon.
Like,
yeah.
If there's an idea out there, like you can't really stop anyone from copying it, and that's fine. But it's like not fine if they just copy and paste it.
Yeah. Also, like I guess putting
It's
in
the same with like sampling and shit.
Mm.
Like if you just sample a song, you don't change it at all. It's like pretty shit.
Well, to go towards that, it's like if you just slightly adjust this, like you get a sample, you copy and paste it, but you adjust it slightly. You increase a bit of this, decrease a little bit of that.
Yeah, but that still comes from like your own idea.
But it sounds almost the same.
Yeah, but you're like, to you, it's improving the idea.
I mean, but
So
let's just say I gave you a beat, and it was like so stupid. Like
there's like one drum out of place.
Yeah.
And like, oh, it would be better if it was like back there.
Because that's a huge debate that musicians have to this day. Like, I don't know if you heard about this, but Led Zeppelin were in a court case for having Stairway to Heaven being copied by an earlier band or whatever. And when you hear the similarities between Stairway to Heaven and the band that created a song like 10 years before them, you can hear the similarities in the chord changes and the riff and all that kind of stuff. Like all these little things where it's like I agree with you, like in your eyes you're like improving on something to make it sound better, but there's also the debate where it's like and you can also look at it as like I gave you the inspiration to create something better, but you can also look at it as like you're getting all this fame and fortune and money and all that for something that I was the root of, type thing. So there's like two, I don't know, what's the word? Both sides, like, it's interesting. It's one, I think it's...
Yeah, but if you're like doing it for the love of it, you don't really care if someone changes something to what... If you like inspired someone off your work and they like change it in a way and they get famous of it, you wouldn't really care because you're doing it for the love of it. But if you're like, I'm doing this because I want to be famous or have some type of money or whatever, wants money with it, but like...
Well, that's what I think happened. Like, in the situation of the Led Zeppelin case, they went to court like maybe 2 years ago or something, maybe a year ago or 2 years ago. That song's been out for like 30, 40 years now. I'm sure that the actual original band were like, oh, they got inspiration from us, good on them, rock on, blah blah blah, hippie movement, yeah, woo, that kind of thing. And then once they realized they made like 100 million off one, or I don't know the exact number, but it's a huge fucking number because it's one of the best known songs or whatever. Millions and millions and millions of dollars off a song. They're like, can we get a cut? Can we get a cut of that, please? Because yeah, we were the inspiration and rock on and good on your hippie movement, but can we get a cut of that? Because I don't know what's interesting, and it's like almost a dichotomy of sorts.
Actually, okay, yeah, no, it has to be like some different take on it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because like you
yeah.
can't. I don't know how you can put a price on creativity. You know
So
what I mean?
it'll be like
An idea. Like how do you put a price like in a capitalist or whatever society? How do you put like a price, or in any society of any sort? Like how do you put a price on an idea of a thought, of a spark, if you will? Because it essentially is a spark, right? Like it's like you got a spark, and then from there it expands, right? I don't know.
Yeah, let's bring it back to my quote. Bright ideas don't set with the sun, like a lighthouse for anyone who come.
That is good. You're a poet, and you know it. Gonna be doing the end of segment podcast soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keen for that.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that. What we're talking about? We're talking about some copyright stuff and all that interesting creativity, shenanigans, and all that. But I don't know. That's a really interesting topic that still to this day it's hard to debunk, if that's the word. That's the right word for it.
Just settle.
Settled, yeah. I don't know how I'd feel about it as well. I don't know if I'd feel like... Because like I was like doing a bit of research like in terms of like them copies. Anyway, I was like doing a bit of research like in terms of like different avenues in what I want to do and everything. Like I was thinking like you can sell scripts, right? So you sell a script, and then that production company makes the movie based off that script. You don't get any credit for it though.
Have you like been writing scripts recently?
Not really, but I want to start getting into just like writing trash, so that eventually I can get better and better at writing, so that hopefully I can start maybe selling scripts, or like maybe get into the whole writing aspect of things, just so I can actually like get something tangible. But
Bro,
like,
true, so much of my writing is fucked.
yeah, like that's like
so hard. Like
elaborate.
Like when I'm writing, like I write a line,
Yeah.
and then the line is usually like basic, and what you should do is like you should just write out like a whole verse and then you edit it after, but I write line by line, so like I'll write one line, it's fucking basic, and then I go over like fucking 50 different variations in my head, and then that takes like, well, it varies, it can take like 5 minutes to like an hour for one line, and then it takes me like a fucking day to a week for one verse, and it's fucked.
Well, yeah.
And like you have to like consider like so much shit as well. You have to consider the flow. So there's like only certain words that will fit into the pocket as well.
Yeah.
So you're going through, but script writing would be different. It'll be
Yeah, it would be a bit different. Like, I think in script writing, it's sort of like, for starters, you need to know the story. You need to know the characters.
Yeah, I've read that script before.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent script. I'm actually kind of annoyed that we never really.
I think I'm writing another script. I want to get into script writing as well.
Yeah, script writing is a whole.
I used to like write a lot of stories as a kid.
Yes, I remember so that I wrote like, I was so annoyed because
I wrote a lot of horror stories.
I wrote this like really fantasy type story. I'm so pissed off because my uncle erased everything off the computer because my dad fucking put a virus on the computer and erased everything. But like it was like 100-page story. Like yeah, it was fucking written like an 8-year-old, but it was like 100 pages written by an 8-year-old. Like a story. It was about like this kid named Freddie, and he bumped into like this. He was like one of those kind of kids that like everyone bullied, and he had an older brother and sister that were bullying him, and like that kind of like down in the dumps kind of kid. And he bumped into like this ghost named Hal, who was a ghost, and
Is it like Casper?
sort of like Casper the ghost, but like his name was Hal the ghost. Anyway, and there's this whole entire backstory. There's like a guy named Evil Scars, and he's got like a sidekick called Jack.
Oh, there's metaphors in the story. Evil Scars, is that like his demons?
Yeah,
his scars.
Yeah, bro.
His scars of the bully.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god.
But the main idea of the story was basically he had to collect these 7 crystals that were hidden around the world, and in my like 8-year-old creative mind, these locations were all like based on real places. Like I like googled all these locations and found like this Mount Rainier and like this volcano in Pompeii and like this other location, and he'd go in all these like different locations and try to get these crystals, and he'd bump into like all these different and there was like all these different plot twists as well. Like Jack was actually Hal the ghost. Spoilers by the way, but Jack was actually Hal the ghost, but was also at the same time the sidekick for Evil Scars and stuff like that. And Evil Scars had a whole entire backstory, how he's related to the family, and how Freddy, the main character,
Why don't you just write it again if you like know
yeah.
the story?
It's like a very like fantasy type story. I think I might get around to it one day as well. I think I picture it being like a very like it's like an animated series. Because back then, like when I was a kid, originally I thought like I was gonna become like an artist, right? And then from art, I realized I wanted to be an animator. And from animation, I realized I wanted to do like directing film. Like I want to do film stuff. So like I kind of went on this transition from like doing art to animation to filmmaking type thing.
I went from art to gaming to martial arts and then to music. Oh, I went through like a computer phase as well.
Mm.
Like I was building computers as a kid.
Oh really?
Yeah. That's why my dad is like always pushing me to like get back into it. Like, yeah, no, fine. I just build my own computer. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like I've been sort of lucky in the sense that like it's sort of a good thing and a bad thing knowing what you want to do, in the sense that like I've always known what I like, more or less what I've wanted to do, but it's also like a downfall because it's like if you cross off that pathway you feel completely shit. Like I know there's people out there who like they're in their mid-20s, they could be even in their like early 30s, they still don't know what they want to do, so they just do like a 9-to-5 job type thing. They're just doing something that pays the bills, but they don't have that kind of like passion or that fiery passion that like.
Well, some people that's like what they want to do though.
Well, like yeah, but like they don't have that kind of like that high. You know what I mean? Like that high of like, for you, like recording a beat and publishing it, or even for me, like the same thing, like recording, filming something, directing something, and then publishing it as well. Like, it's like that kind of thing where you just want to get on that grind. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a curse as well though.
yeah, it's a bit of a curse as well because like you feel almost like I don't want to say like guilty, but it's kind of like you feel like it's like, oh fuck, like I haven't fucking done anything, like oh like the fuck. But I feel like once you start getting into the flow of things, like you can, like a snowball effect essentially. I think these podcasts are helping out. It's almost a bit therapeutical.
All you need to do is just write one line a day.
Mm.
And then once we go into 2 hours a day. And so on.
Mm.
I've been writing pretty much every day for I think a year or 2 now. I skip like a couple, but like that's busy. And I started off just writing like but it would be just like scat, like just writing trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kept writing trash.
Yeah.
I don't know, like it's weird. Like when I first started off, I could write like heaps fast, but now I'm writing like heaps slow, but it's a lot more intricate.
Yeah. I need to just because like I haven't written like any scripts in a very long time. But and also like with that being said, like I haven't written any poetry or rap or rhyme or whatever, however you want to put it, in a very long time either. I just felt like very self-conscious about my work and how it looks like. If it's not like, I don't know what the word is, like technical enough, it's not like very mind.
Yeah, that's what I go through. But
Yeah.
like, as long as you're still thinking of different ways to put it down, and then you put it down, in the end, like I believe you'll eventually get to a point where you're like, you'll be able to do that a lot faster. Like, actually, I don't even fucking know. Like maybe you'll just keep going up and up like levels where like you just keep getting more and more intricate.
Yeah. No, it's interesting.
Like, if you're so self-conscious about it, and then it's like, oh, I can't do this, I give up, then you're fucked. But if you're like self-conscious and you keep like thinking of different ways to do it, then I think you'll get there.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. The one thing that I've always been self-conscious about is like not knowing enough words. You know what I mean? Like not having the vocabulary that like
I have shittest vocabulary. And it's so trash.
Yeah. I wish I had like a more extensive vocabulary where I could use intricate and sophisticated words.
Intricate's not bad.
Yeah, it's not that.
It's too sophisticated.
Yeah. But like actually sometimes when I am writing stuff,
it just comes to you.
It comes to me and I'll like a word will come to me and I'm like, I don't even know what this word means. Yeah. And I'll Google it and I'm like, oh, that's the word I was actually looking for. It's so weird. It's like almost like in your subconscious, like, because surely you've heard every single word in the dictionary, right?
Well, probably not, but you've heard like a lot of words.
You've either
heard a lot of words that you don't use on a daily basis.
Yeah, or even read somewhere or anything, right? But when you're writing something, when you're being creative, it's like it just comes naturally to you, and you're like, what is this word? Let me quickly Google it. You find the definition of it and you're like, that's the word I was looking for, and then you added it, and then it sort of kind of sticks with you. Have you ever had that thing where like there'll be a word and you'll end up using that word, or you'll hear that word like a lot in a span of like 2 or 3 days or something? Like in a span of a couple of days, you're like, fuck, I've heard this word like 20 times or whatever. Have you ever had that?
I don't know, maybe. I've had like a lot of concepts like come to me in like the span of a couple of days. Like I might as well just write about the concept. But I don't know how it works.
I had a really interesting dream the other day. It was like, I think that's another thing I want to start doing as well. Like that whole dream journal thing again, because I feel like ideas can also come through that.
I've had like so many dreams. Oh, actually, I think I might have a recording or something, but like I've had so many dreams where I'm like making a beat, and then I wake up in the morning and like I still remember the melody, but I'm like too lazy to grab my phone, and then like I'll go through the day, I forget it, but I think I have like one melody saved on this phone, which is like from my dream.
Yeah. No, like I think that's something that I really want to start doing again, because I have kind of fallen out of it. But like, I've had a few really good ideas that come to me where I'm like, and like when I say good ideas, it's like I'm actually experiencing that like film of sorts. And then I'll wake up and like my first thing when I wake up is like, that's a fucking short. That's like a film. Like that's like a story. Like that's start to finish. That's a story right there. And then, like, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll write it later. Like, you know, that whole thing, like, say, yeah, I'll do it later kind of thing. And you just end up fucking forgetting it. But
yeah, a lot of it is also just acting on inspiration when you get it.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
And people really fucking mistake like people think you should only act when you have inspiration. They forget that like you can create your own inspiration by just fucking writing. Like people.
It works both ways, yeah.
But like you need to write every day.
Well, like I've been watching a lot of comedians and their podcasts and stuff like that, and they also say the exact same thing. Like when they get an idea for a bit, like a comedy bit, like or for like their stand up or whatever, they have to write it right then and there. Otherwise, they'll just it won't be the same. If they think about it 5 minutes later, they'll either forget it, or they'll just remember like a little small glimpse of it. Cause like an idea, it's almost like, it's not like as if like an idea is like 2 sentences that are stored in your head. When you get an idea, it's like, and you start pen and paper, like writing it down. You could write like 5 paragraphs from that idea that just popped into your head. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's crazy. Okay, I need to hit pause on this before it stops recording. But when we're back, we're gonna start the beat. You ready for it?
Yeah.
Alright, we'll be back in a sec. So, 15 minutes are up, more or less. Sneak preview. Yeah, let's hit us with the beat, Ben. I'm keen to hear what this is like. We heard the first few seconds. Minor adjustments. Peace. Not bad, Bill. I like it.
That's pretty much it.
Nice. Keep it going. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoy this podcast. Be sure to stick around for future podcasts. Don't forget to like, subscribe,